Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Kevin Fries.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Katie Anger.
South Carolina State Fair has finally made its return to the Midlands.
And while people always see the rides and attractions in action, we got to look at the hard work that goes unnoticed before the fair opens its gates. Katie Augustine has more. ESPN is eliminating about 150 jobs today. This is the second major job cut by the sports network in the last 7 months. The job cuts come after rising fees for broadcasting rights to live events and a loss of 10 million subscribers over the past 6 years. According to ESPN, no on-air talent will be dropped today. It will only be studio and production employees. Olympic gymnast Aly Raisman says she was sexually abused by Larry Nassar, longtime doctor for the USA gymnastics team. Raisman is a 3-time Olympic gold medalist and was the captain of the U.S. team at the 2012 and 2016 Olympics. She is the second to accuse Nassar of sexual misconduct and is confirming the abuse because she wants to make sure that no one ever has to go through the same thing. He faces 22 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct and 11 counts of third-degree criminal sexual conduct in Michigan. And hundreds gathered in Hollywood in support of sexual assault victims on Sunday. #MeToo survivors and Take Back the Workplace survivors marched down Hollywood Boulevard with signs in hand chanting "Stop the Violence." The march was led by the creator of the MeToo hashtag, Tarana Burke. The goal of the movement is to address the sexual assault and harassment of women in the workplace. MeToo continues to gain strength as more victims are continuing to come forward with stories of sexual accusations. And former Gamecock football players are back in Columbia on the field, but not at Williams-Brice. We'll tell you why they have decided to come back to town after the break. And Kershaw County sheriffs were taken through a graveyard last week in pursuit of 3 men accused of robbing over $60 Generals. The high-speed chase reached speeds of 115 miles per hour and destroyed headstones as well as the fence surrounding the area in an attempt to overtake the burglars. Jermaine Ford, Quan Miller, and Chadwick Miller are believed to have broken into multiple Dollar General stores throughout the Carolinas, stealing money and the store's surveillance systems. The trio have been since arrested, but investigations are still underway. Number 3 Gamecocks took on Vanderbilt Commodores Sunday afternoon, where they extended their win streak with a 3-0 win. Savannah McCaskill started the game with the first goal in just the 6th minute, making it the fastest goal of the season. It was followed by another goal by Alexa Barr and one more by Luciana Sulo. The team had a total of 14 shots on goal compared to Vandy's simple 3. The Gamecocks will take their 13-1-0 record to face Mizzou on Thursday. Kyron, I know there's a lot of sports overlap right now. We got postseason baseball, preseason basketball. What's going on in the sports world for us?
Absolutely, guys.
Columbia has bars and places that cater to dogs, but a Carolina student and a Carolina alum are partnering with Pets Inc. to start a cafe dedicated to cats. The first of its kind is in the Midlands. Janelle Buñuel has the story. While it is still more than a week until Thanksgiving, the South Carolina State Christmas tree is up in front of the State House. It took 3 pieces of massive machinery, 20 men, and several hours to get the tree standing on the State House grounds. Hauled all the way up from North Carolina, the Norway spruce stands a whopping 32 feet tall and is very similar to last year's tree. But crews will begin decorating the tree in the coming days, and it will all be unveiled on November 25th. At the tree lighting ceremony. What a fun time,
It came up so quick.
It did.
Wow.
It really did.
Cannot believe it.
And Parker White continues to impress and put up 9 of the Gamecocks' points, including the longest field goal of his career with 47 yards. And for Gamecock fans and college football fans all around, the weekend got a little bit more exciting as the Clemson Tigers lost. That's right, they lost to Syracuse 27-24. The previously number 2 Tigers fell to the number 5 this week in the power rankings and suffered their first loss in 11 games. Clemson has a bye week coming up before hosting Georgia Tech on October 28th. A judge has denied bond for a Benedict College student who is accused of beating and sexually assaulting a woman in 5 Points. Darius Nelson appeared in court on Saturday morning, and he faces charges including first-degree criminal sexual conduct and kidnapping. According to Columbia Police Department, Nelson forced the victim into a secluded area in 5 Points early on Wednesday morning. He's currently being held in the Richland County Detention Center. Matt Lauer has been fired from NBC after 20 years with the news organization in light of inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace. Our Brianna Trusty has the story. President Trump is in the Philippines for his last stop of his Asia tour. He met with Philippine President Duterte, and according to Duterte's spokesman, Trump seems to be in agreement with Duterte's war on drugs. He says they did not discuss human rights violations in the Philippines, but the White House says human rights came up briefly, with topics focused on ISIS, illegal drugs, and trade. Duterte's spokesman says he and Trump have a very warm and friendly relationship.
We've had a great relationship. This has been very successful.
The Philippines is Trump's fifth and final stop of his Asian tour. Arizona Senator Jeff Flake delivered a retirement speech that's being called one of the most important speeches of 2017. He urges the country to wake up from the fever of Trumpism and encourages Americans to speak out against Trump's behavior.
The notion that one should stay silent and as the norms and values that keep America strong are undermined, and as the alliances and agreements that ensure the stability of the entire world are routinely threatened by the level of thought that goes into 140 characters. The notion that we should say or do nothing in the face of such mercurial behavior is ahistoric, and I believe profoundly misguided.
On October 4th, 2015, South Carolina experienced what we know today as the 1,000-year flood. For 4 days, rain fell from the skies, causing some Columbia neighborhoods to have up to 20 inches of standing water. Cars, homes, businesses, and even some lives were lost because of the flooding. Now, 2 years later, the majority of the Midlands have returned to their normal lives, but there are some that are still feeling the aftermath of those 4 days that saw no sunshine. In the Greater Rochester International Airport, this runway worker, Kyron Ashford, tries to keep the day a little less dull with his dancing. Kyron has one goal when he takes his stage: to make everyone's day a little better. This video of him dancing on the runway became viral over the past week. He calls his dance the Kyron Twist. His demonstrations of a positive and goofy attitude have helped bring smiles to passengers' faces, and he hopes to continue that as time goes by.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but that would make any flight I was on a little more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine dancing on the runway would be.
And because of how stressful flying is, I'm sure so many people have enjoyed that.